Haven't even done a mic check this morning. Good morning and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View on Sunday, the 3rd of May. 3rd of May is a really important day to me. On a personal note, it is a special birthday in someone in my life, and it is a birthday for them every year on this date. And it was also the day that Celtic. It was the day that Celtic did May, the unbelievable, and Celtic have been talking about it this morning. Yes, that's the wrong one. Let's move on to this one. And it's not often that Celtic put the name of someone who wrote the post, but they did on this one. It was written by Joe Sullivan. And we'll read the post that Celtic put out this morning. It was on this day 40 years ago that one of the tightest titles ever won by Celtic was clinched on a magical day in Paisley, thanks to the exploits there in faraway Dundee. We take a look at the story behind the title. Once the initial skirmishes of the opening games were over, Rangers, who held first place, as only points they dropped in the first 6 games was a one. Who cares? Who cares? Do people really care about what happened in 1986? I mean, I know it's important and but modern day, the youngsters, the young team, as we like to call them. I mean, anyone born after 1990 is not going to give a hoot, really, are they? I mean, it's not up there with the double, or is it, for you older Celtic fans? And this goes on about the story on Brian McClare. I mean, if anything, people of a certain age will look back and look at the fantastic players that were at Celtic at the time. Do you know, unsung heroes in Happy Albert Kid Day. But there's a cracking one. Brian McClare. Brian McClare, when you look at him now, he looks like he's sleeping rough. No disrespect to Brian, absolutely fantastic player. But he left us and he went to Manchester United, didn't he? He followed Fergie south. Yes, Fergie at that time was part of the Aberdeen management that was way better than Celtic, it has to be said. I mean, Fergie was doing things in Europe when Celtic were rubbish. And I've seen a couple of crazy posts on social media, and Celtic can't beat anybody these days. Celtic weren't that great back then. Do you know, we weren't winning doubles and stuff. You very rarely winning the league, never mind doubles. You know, and I think that when you look at that, Brian McClare was taken down south by Alex Ferguson to be part of his Manchester United revolution. So, you know, take a sleeping giant. If you want to talk about taking a sleeping giant and taking it forward, then you need to talk about that. But anyway, Celtic lost to Clydebank in the September. Jesus. Clydebank, eh? Whatever happened to them? Oh, that's right, they went bust. Clydebank, didn't they? They went bust and they weren't allowed to reform and stay and have the same name. Tell me what they are now called, Clydebank, because they changed their name, didn't they? And it just gives you a little bit of the story. Nonetheless, Celtic playing catch-up. It would continue to do so until 4:45 on the 3rd of May 1986. The Hoops were only suffer one more defeat that season. There is a bit on this that shows you how many defeats we had in that season and how many draws and how little points it took to win the league. Following that, though, Celtic won their remaining 8 games, while moving up the ladder step from 4th place. 4th place. Nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about Celtic sort of being way down in those positions. Everyone thinks that Celtic, do you know, the modern younger fans, do you know, Paul Keenan, he did. But as to be fair, United were going through a right dodgy patch in 1986. Fergie took Chalky a few seasons to get it right. We all know the story of Fergie, and do you know, he was quite close to the sack at one point, Fergie. and then he pulled it off, didn't he? And then he was also told that when he was getting rid of all the old guard, all the old players, your Paul Ince's and people like that, he was told that he was never going to win the league with a bunch of young kids. Fergie says, "Hold my whiskey," because he was a big, heavy whiskey drinker back in those days. Anyway, Celtic were to suffer only one more defeat that season to Dundee United at Tannadice 4-2. Does it sound familiar, getting beat at Tannadice in a season? After that game, 1-0 loss, there was draws, and there was the fans going pretty mental at Love Street back in those days. Look at that picture. Where's all the bad media for that day? The 4-4 draw with Rangers, so Celtic in fourth place with 34 points from 28 games, while Hearts were 7 points ahead with 30 games played. Even winning the games in hand would still leave Celtic 3 points behind. Hearts then beat Rangers, Dundee United, while Celtic beat Clydebank, Dundee, St Mirren and Aberdeen over the same time frame. At Tynecastle, the side were on 47 points from 33 games, and Celts were in third place, 5 points behind, having played a game fewer. On Saturday the 19th, 2 late goals gave Celtic a 2-0 home win over Hibs. 2-0 win today would be fantastic, lads. Just saying that. 24 hours later, Hearts drew 1-1 with Aberdeen at Tynecastle. 1-1 draw on Monday night. It's written in the stars, isn't it? I was going to sing there. Oh, you always get these joyous moments and you want to sing because you remember songs of a bygone era, and it's absolutely fantastic. So yes, a similar result would be absolutely fantastic today. A nice 2-0 win away to Hibernian, and Rangers play Hearts on Monday night. A little 1-1 draw with that would be fantastic. Anyway, following weekend, 2 second half goals and gave Celtic a 2-home win over Dundee, while Hearts were at the bottom club Clydebank, a team who had shipped more goals than any other team. But the Edinburgh side only won 1-0 in the penultimate game. On Wednesday, the 30th, so Celtic's game in hand played with a 2-0 win over Motherwell at Fir Park. It's written in the stars, honestly. It's written in the stars. If we beat Hibs 2-0 today, if we beat Motherwell away, Fir Park 2-0, can history repeat itself? You're just getting that buzz of a feeling thinking it can. And there's something about Celtic in the history of Celtic Football Club, the romantic side of Celtic Football Club, the side where they always come and shine at the right minutes. They always achieve when you think it's going to be impossible for the club to do so. Wednesday the 30th saw Celtic's game in hand played. 2-0 win. Both sides had one game left, with Celtic travelling to Paisley, while Hearts went to Dens to play the 6th place Dundee. Hearts had a goal difference of 28, while Celtic, 2 points behind, had a goal difference of 24. The Edinburgh side had only to draw to take the title. Even a 1-0 defeat for them would see Celtic, to see Celtic win 3-0 to take the title on goals scored. What unfolded was stuff of green and white dreams. Celtic raced into a 4-0 half-time lead, and just 9 minutes after the break, Brian McClare made it 5, but it was all still in Hearts' court. They were drawing 0-0 at Dens Park whilst the ball was in their court until a future Celt, Dundee's Tosh McKinlay, was replaced by a fellow Celtics. I'm going to cry. I could cry at this point. The emotion is unbelievable. Tosh McKinlay and Albert Kidd. It's written in the stars. Mate, I was 14 at the time. That's why I'm reading this. It was 7 minutes to go. We'll go back to the Tosh McKinley bit. The ball was in their court until a future Celt, Dundee's Tosh McKinley, was replaced by a fellow Celtic supporter, Albert Kidd. With 7 minutes to go, the cheers at Love Street and Easter Road and Ibrox were louder than those of the heavily outnumbered Dundee fans at Dens Park. Kidd had amazingly put Dundee in front. The cheers at Love Street spoke for themselves. Fans of the Edinburgh rivals Hibs obviously rejoiced, whilst Rangers fans at Ibrox did likewise mistakenly think that Walter Kidd had scored for Hearts. Oh my days. Oh, Rangers thinking that Hearts had won the league and Celtic hadn't. Kidd had amazingly put Dundee in front. Even more amazingly, Kidd, of the Albert variety, scored again with 3 minutes left, and even Hearts' slim hopes of winning the title with a draw evaporated. History was made on the 3rd of May 1996. Brian McClare, chalky Celtic legend. Celtic finished the season 36 games, won 20, they drew 10, and they lost 6. Goals for was 67. Kind of written in the stars with the 67, wasn't it? A number that's iconic with Celtic. Goals against were 38, and the goal difference was 29. Hearts, the exact same. 36 games, 20 wins, 10 draws, 6 losses. 59 goals for. Against was 33. Goal difference is 26. Both on 50 points. Both on 50 points. And it was a day that Celtic enjoyed. Because next year was shite. 3rd of May 1986, St Mirren Park. 36 game. And a 10-team 36 league. Unbelievable. The team of the day, Celtic. Pat Bonner, Danny McGrain, Peter Grant, Aitken, White, McGugan, McLeod, McClare, McStay, Johnston, Burns, Archdeacon, Owen Archdeacon. God. Tommy Burns, Paul McStay, Murdo McLeod, Brian McClare. Heroes of mine growing up. Absolute heroes. And it was a pleasure to meet Roy Aitken so many times as a youngster. So many times as a youngster. It was don't know, I was quite lucky to him for the fact that my dad was so friendly with Roy Aitken at the time. Unbelievable and fantastic memories. Would you take that result today? Would you take a 2-0 win over Hibernian away from home to take us one step closer? With the fact, yeah, that's why I never said his first name. I I'm talking about Tommy Burns, Owen Archdeacon, Paul McStay, Brian McClare, Murdo McLeod, and we'll miss it, the other striker. I was 16 a long time ago, says Jim. Well, I was 14 at the time, and I've got to say, it was a long time ago. But Celtic have a little habit of doing the unthinkable. Completely doing the unthinkable. Let's turn on and see. Let me see. Why am I seeing this? It's just an update from the bus that's left 15, 20 minutes ago, mate. Anyway, there's not real big news hitting around this morning. It is all about this game today. Rangers accept terms for the allocation after, well, I suppose. I mean, should we even give them time? I mean, the Union Bears surrendering. Sorry, mate, we're not going to go. Alright? We're not going to go. We're not taking our masks with us. Making history, Baz. That's what we are good at. It is, isn't it, Joseph? We're absolutely fantastic. And as a club and as a support, we always have these moments. And it does make you wonder. I was 8-year-old. Only video highlights give me the memories. Mate, I'm 14 and I've never even really, I can't remember it. So that's what it was. Mr. Creaky says, Sutton, Hartson, Larson, O'Neill were my heroes growing up. And I wasn't born until 87. I can understand why, Mr. Squeak. If you were born in 1987, you kind of lived through the barren years as an early youngster. So the time that you were sort of in your teenage years, that would have been anyway. It would have been the beginning of the glory years. You've known nothing like the barren 1990 years, really. Baz win today. We beat the lowlife next week and set ourselves up for the last two games. Rangers falls again, as always, worth a point. Yeah, we need to point out that they have accepted the fact that they are not going to take ultras, and rightly so. Rightly so. Don't know. There's too much whataboutery. Well, you went on the power fast, you're laughing. But they didn't don ski masks and dress up as Spider-Man and stuff and run 3/4. Could you imagine if Celtic fans? I'm not even giving them they've surrendered. That's all that matters. They surrendered and they're not going. They will go. Don't be stupid. You know, they'll say publicly that, no, we're not going. They may not go as a collective, as a group, and they may not have their banners, but they'll be there to erect the toilets at Celtic Park. And I hope Celtic don't cover it up like they have done previously. I hope Celtic show the devastation and the destruction of Celtic Park after that game, to show the world exactly what they are. And that is, we don't need to, because they've got history of it all around Europe, haven't they? I watched the footy in 9 minutes, though. I do remember the bad times. I got to grow up through the success too. The 1990s. Yeah, long time ago. But I'm glad most of it, for me, was the pain was numbed by the rave scene at the time. God forgive, give the Muppets tickets. Anything could happen. The club should be absolutely hammered by the SFA. Just give them the tickets. Yes, they will be there in some capacity. Of course they will be. They're not going to not take the tickets. They'll go in and they'll go in as undercover. They'll not be showing their Union Bear colours. But they will go in and destroy Celtic Park. Mark my words for it. Mark my words for it. Anyway, it is just a quick one this morning because we are back. Typical crying Huns. They like the match, then blame the flame. Yes, very true. There was one of the Celtic rabble, the Rangers rabble, sorry, was I'd posted something and it came up on my timeline on Twitter, and that greeting face wench that's on it was just. Oh, I don't blame. It doesn't expect. What did you expect? Celtic today, man. What did you expect? You didn't expect nothing, man. Did you? Well, we're such a Celtic, man. And just shut up, honestly. Anyway, right, that has been done and dusted for this morning. I need to get ready for the pre-live videos. Oh, there's 400 odd people online. We should stick around for another 10 minutes. So there's so many people online this morning. But if you haven't just woke up this morning, you have just tuned in, Celtic have put out a nice little written piece written by Joe Sullivan. Oh, you hear my stomach there? Yes, I'm doing a watch along. We're doing the full stunt today, but back to normal. Get the team news coming out an hour and a half before the game, which is coming up in an hour and 10 minutes. So yeah, we'll do the team news as it comes out, and then we will also be doing a watch along because there's not many watch alongs left for the season. Oh, spend the summer. Oh, my. I'm going to cry. The season's almost over. Can Celtic be champions again on this day, on the 3rd of May? Oh. I was going to burst into it. On this day, 9 May 1919. Oh, anybody that knows that knows it, knows it. Did you get your coffee this morning? More important. Yes. No, I slept in. I slept in this morning. She's far too busy this morning doing stuff. Celtic to win 2-0. The Rancid Rabbit. The Rats will be in there. They can't behave anywhere. This is very true. When we look at the potential Celtic team, we will be doing the team news as it comes out. But with the Celtic team that is missing quite a few players because the manager does not fancy the players. Casper Schmeichel came back up to do a nice little video to say that I'm really sure. He never even apologised, did he? He just went, it's hard. You know, I had to go away and sort my head out and be with my family, on telly. Aye, mate. Sinisalo will be in goals. Back four, Alistair Johnson, I think, will start. Liam Scales will start even. Austin Trusty will start, as will Kieran Tierney. Colby Donovan won't be on the bench. That will leave Tony Ralston on the bench and Marcelo Saracchi with will Dane Murray be on the bench? I doubt it. I wonder if we'll see Benjamin Arthur in the run-in. That'll be interesting. In the midfield, it will be Callum McGregor for 60 minutes. It will be Arne Engels and it will be Benji Nygren. In the forward front line, we have a squad of frontline players that Martin O'Neill doesn't really fancy. Joe Mavuka, nowhere near the squad. Another one, Mikael Emerson, Balak Wisher, nowhere near the squad. Tam checked out and he's went back to Germany and his season is over as far as Celtic are concerned. Jota isn't available until next season, which leaves us with a combination of Dyson Maeda up front, a Yang on one wing, and you're probably going to start with James Forrest, aren't you? You start James Forrest before Tenecti because I just don't think Tenecti is as good as James Forrest, which is unbelievable. That'll be the front starting three. I wonder if Callum Osmond may get near the bench or will he go with Kelechi and Iacho. It shows that we're getting thin on the ground in the run. And all it means is Celtic need to get the points today. Can Celtic win 2-0? Just a little bit of repeat of history. I think so. I shall see you in around about an hour and 5 minutes when we sit and we go through our score predictions. Anyway, have a fantastic morning, Celtic fans, wherever you are all around the world.